Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Grace Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last episode, we were able to discover new evidence. Unfortunately, this new evidence was been shattered because we can just get rid of evidence in court and it's totally fine, I guess. And now we're a bit of a situation right now, so let's go back to the trial. We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke. Yes? We've come so far, but now, you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? Told me before the powers of observation were one thing you could really depend upon. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back again. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. Could it be? Maybe it had something to do with... I know, like, okay, let's... If we can... I know we took a gunshot wound, so where's the blood? That's what I want to figure out. What I saw. What I had felt. Every color. Oh, we're just gonna colorize this? Is Cosma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose Dr. Wilson's killer? There's a clue. I like how we just colorized the thing in an instant and we just like see the actual cause. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back to over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Haha. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe that smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can wait. Can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in the memories of that day. Whatever it is, it could be the key to arriving at the truth about all of this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been... I thought it'd be pretty obvious. It's the blood. Inspector Hasanage, answer me this. He's speechless. Yes, what is it? He's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder if therefore, perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day? Wait a minute! Where are you going with... Shut up! Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on. It was a splattering of blood. What? Oh really? And what of it? Obviously that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon? This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense! Is the court seriously expected to believe that something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing? This could be the moment that my entire career as a police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean? Yes, I took the plate. In the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. Wait, why you took both steaks, I guess? And I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Inspector! The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered, the steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector, the blood man, show the court. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Huh? Wait, where's the blood? Wait, no. No blood. Wait, where's the blood? You're kidding, right? Is this really the plate from the professor's table? No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible! I know I saw it, I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. Heh. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. Ah, the eagle. Or swan. You see, that's why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. Okay, you're just being racist now. God dang it. Ugh. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire. I believe we may finally reach a conclusion in this trial. Wait, let's hope so. Let's attempt that court proceedings is painful to watch, but I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. The sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. The sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guess. Alright. Okay, I get to examine it. This plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of imagination. No. We're gonna check everything. What? Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark of the Hoenn era, I believe. Wait. No, I don't mean what it is. I mean, what's it doing there? Wait. You say it was a Hoenn Koban? Yes, apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today as there's been talk about Hoenn Koban. Heard that pearls before swine. I never heard of bullion and bouillon. And I don't think you will ever will again. But this is extraordinary though. This means... Certainly never expect a precious coin underneath this thick of cut of meat. It's from the Hoenn era too, that would make it really quite valuable. Well, it's marinating the juices as well, look. What are you thinking of eating it? No, but the next time I order sick and expensive, one thing's for sure, my heart's gonna be racing as I lift up the meat to peer underneath for a prize. I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about this, Ryunosuke. Koban coin underneath this steak. There's only one logical explanation. Uh-oh, this is... I feel like, is this the right steak plate that they gave us? That's the question. This is it now. I've lost. Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until you fight until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what. Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown problematic in any way, pursuing further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That blood stain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? There's another clue. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue will reveal a shocking truth. The only thing that's shocking is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett. We must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give it a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel of the defense, you will now clearly show the court what you are alluding. Whereas precisely the steak and beefsteak is the newest clue to be found. No, Counsel, I'm afraid that won't do. Ambiguous at best. When you're asked to identify a detail like this, you must do so. My life points. There's a penalty for mistakes. The answer's right there in front of me, I'm sure of it. So there's only one thing to do. Just turn this steak over until I find something to help me out of this. Like $50. Come on. Damn it. Come on. Come on. Why isn't it showing? How could I flip the steak over? Can't flip the steak over? Come on! Let me flip! Fuck! Alright, I'm gonna save real quick. God, I'm about to lose all my life points. How do I check the coin? How do I flip it? Are you kidding me? What? Come on! This is so dumb. Oh, you're supposed to... There it is. I was like wondering, how do I get the stick out? Okay, better. I was like wondering, oh, you were in like evidence examination mode. Okay, now we could, like, present this. Good gracious, that's... a Koban? What on earth? Hoei Era 1 at that. Alright, we're back now. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? Shut up! What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't even know what that is, and I want no part of it. But I fancy how this is irrelevant. Irrelevant? A coin underneath the meat? It could have been simply a careless mistake by the chef and moment distraction. Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my jacket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Consul. A rare Hoei Koban just happens to appear here hidden underneath that piece of steak. This turns out to be irrelevant to the case. I give up my lawyer job right now. By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Shut up! Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what's it doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban was found underneath the beefsteak is that guy who cared about this Hoenn coin, Korakudo-san. Obviously, it can only be the antique dealer of the owner Rasute, Kiryu Korakudo-san. Kiri, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Oh yes, the old man who testified earlier alongside military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. Exactly the moment the gun was fired. Oh, the gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for the treasure. Indeed, the Hoenn Era Koban, my prize coin. This Hoenn Era Koban, do you mean to tell me? No, please. Why would Korakudo-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? Makes no sense. Which is why I'm asking you to bring Korakudo-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. We're gonna get the two witnesses back. Finally, to become relevant. I can't believe we come back around that pair again. I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find out that there's a key element in the case. Alright. Oh no, I have to do his loud voice. What's this about? I have been caught up again! Don't you realize that it's dinner time for a little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves! Exploited by the police, we were like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice. Worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence. Be that as it may, Korakudo-san, something has come to the light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this Koban? Wah! Yes, that's it. That's one. That very exact one that it is. It's splendiferous holy treasure that is Rasute Bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be. As I thought. Young man, enlightening this scrabbing old fool put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwich between a beef steak and its place, soaking the seasoned meat's juices. Sandwich? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have been fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my Hawaiian treasure between my slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing? So he didn't do it. Who did? Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Yes, that's right, the secret undercover operation. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Seeing there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents has been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. Seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. Unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief in the work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place where is already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korakuda-san's Koban is all too clear. What? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the typical scoundrel who stole Korakuda-san and hid under the stake? I mean, isn't there one person that you were next to? Could it be you? Maybe you had something to do with it. You were discussing like a deal with him. Obviously, it can only be you! Sergeant Iyasanosa!
What? How dare you! You monster!
Monster?
I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of law. What kind of all am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it isn't me, it was Idol! The Idol's the best, bye-bye!
You're gonna blame your baby? You're gonna blame the baby behind you? Are you for real? You would push the blame for the crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. My master! Clippity clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap. Jesus Christ.
Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iyasanosa preparing to stand on the Supreme Court, sir.
Okay, that was a weird cutscene.
Do any of you know of the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays that expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to recently ended conflicts remain in place. I have heard it's hard for lower ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant?
The place is heavier with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time.
It sounded like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your targeting that day was the old man and his koban.
Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leap the stick halfway through the devouring when it happened.
Bang, eh? Yes, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could on the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date.
But there's a huge flaw right now. How did the stake get onto, you know, the professor's table then?
This is ridiculous.
You could perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett? Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. Quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetuated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it?
Well, oof.
As for picking up your stick and buying it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well, now that all questions concerning the witness's testimony has been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. You're not leaving. And good day. Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. Can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. Feel like there's a contradiction there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. Hold it! Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words just from a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Yes, I'm right. What you said are exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory, what evidence is there to prove it?
It's the steak plate, isn't it? Let me see here. Like, now that I think about it, this steak looks like it had bite marks. It wasn't cut with a knife. Like, you can't make a knife cut like this. So I'm guessing this was like actual bite marks?
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes? Go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're splitting hairs! Not true. Doesn't it something about the steak strike was very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious that I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. Uh-oh. Guess she noticed too. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did! She's a refined English gentlewoman herself! And take a good look at this steak, in particular, the edge where it's been eaten. Yeah, I think I know whose steak it is. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks here. Oh! Oh! Looks like Miss Brett has realized something. That's not the steak on the table. So if the witness, she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett is ravenously hungry and couldn't help it. Shut up! Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be— Oh, no. You ain't leaving the fuck out of here right now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course. This will all be over in the blink of an eye. It's assured I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything— Shut up! I've heard enough. You irritating little speckled samurai relic. Oh, of course! Dear lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have you ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows something what this means. She realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks in the steak had for her. You know, Skate, do you know where you're going with this? Yes, now at last it's all come together. Mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had been allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the blood stain I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to the conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Shut up! Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You would know the meaning of the phrase typical Japanese empty threats. Oh, racist. Oh, she's racist. You could be so sure. It's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long— True, we could have presented it long ago, but that's why we're presenting it now. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought to the court yet. Hasn't been? What? Just because it hadn't been shown yet doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist. This is absurd! The trials have run several hours already. You say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? It can't be. I don't believe you have it. I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. If that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request for the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence to reveal the truth of the whole affair?
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. Think I've been holding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. For everyone's attention has been focused on the steak with the teeth marks.
Yes?
Because he has the other piece of steak, doesn't he? Earlier afternoon, the Sergeant told the court the following. I enjoyed chopping my steak through a good chopping waitress, so as it made to steal Korakuda's coin. He told us it had slipped it under the steak.
You watch a cadet of a superior officer.
Sergeant Nosa, can you please confirm something for me? Was this steak that you put a coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Tianchen! Affirmative, of course I might be a soldier here in Ippon Army, but still. I'm not brave to ask a foreign gentle lady if she might be manhandling her meat to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. But that makes no sense! That plate was taken from the victim's table! And yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly! Sure you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched to Sussex over? Maybe... yeah? You did switch the plates?
He did. Well, after it happened, bang. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted the stick and hid the coin underneath it. And when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. When he decided to investigate the slab of meat, that'd be it. I'm getting my marching orders. So when the cadet was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance.
You switched the steaks when no one was watching.
With the military precision and timing, I switched my steak with one of the foreign ladies' table.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what I had to be done.
And unbelievable! He did it so fast, and no one noticed.
However, if you're not Prosecutor-san.
What? No!
I saw on the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant. So if Sergeant Nosa switched plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak, and the plate was on the back of his own tape to his own tape.
Yes, that follows.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had to take in both. Ah! Uh-oh. Yes, that's correct. Then please present the court now. The plate was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. Shut up! What can possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat can't have the slightest bearing on the case. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady. I beg your pardon? Sure you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan the promises to prove such a problem for you, no? You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense has to see what the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate, there was a table directly behind Dr. Wilson. There's a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot to the victim's chest. You know, this blood... Would it be on the tablecloth or something like that? No? At all? I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Set the beepstick that was relieved from the victim's table in the time of the incident.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Where's the blood?
Sorry for keeping you. Here's the other stick in its plate. Please feel free to examine it.
Yep. The blood's on the left side.
The blood stain. It's clearly visible, look. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see is on the other side of the plate, so that the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, impossible for Naruto-san to have shot the victim. Ah! It can't be! In fact, there's only one person who could possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! No, the swan is dead! Outdone by a Japanese. Me by a Japanese schoolboy. No, no, no. Jesus, that's a long ass. When people go crazy, this happens. Classic Phoenix Wright games. She's going to heaven! No, she's not going to heaven. And there are birds everywhere. This is so stupid. Preggers! Look at those chicks. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Yeah, like every other person who are on the defense stand loses their composure. Classic Phoenix Wright games. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Whoa, Miss Brett. I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Kurare. As you surmise, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction for one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. So Kurare was unheard of here in Japan. Yes, of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. All I need to see the professor take one tiny sip of water and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear that I had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed, made sure he was sitting in his chair that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. Just because, like, you know, I was just saying hi to Professor? Like, were you really bothered by that? I happen to know the Professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Kurara in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under your skirt? So I was right, there were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed Professor's gun, which he had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you were sure I would notice it. Everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot carried caused a commotion, at which the point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit, and I apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that joins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around. But of course, you made it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson for where he picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. I have no words right now. All literally because I just went to say hi. Hi to the professor. What a shitty motive, honestly. Your Excellency.
Oh, yes, I was paying attention.
I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. Wait, we're just gonna make her leave? Wait, she just straight up leaves, not charged with murder?
Would seem that this trial had finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be! Takatsuchi Achi does not lose! Not to the likes of this rookie student! You better start getting used to tough opposition. And Inosuke Naruhodo! Well, yes? This insult to the Achi family name will never be forgotten! You've become so conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It is the way of the world. May you never forget that. What the? No, my hair! What the? Cutscene. 1,000 millennia may pass, but still the Achi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan.
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go on the history of the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
Hi, thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence in deduction to unravel the truth is a modern mythology. After all, it's been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world, but the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will bring new methods of investigation, new procedure of justice. A new future law awaits. What will it look like? But I cannot imagine that's for the young to pursue. Kazuma Sogi.
Yes.
After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the water world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind.
As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
In you I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I verify the defendant Inosuke Naruhodo not guilty.
Wow! 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 Not guilty! Yeah!
The first case of many. This court is now adjourned. November 2:46 p.m. Okay, Supreme Court of Judicial Defendants, Antechamber 5. Can't believe it. Can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial.
Inosuke finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I'd have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
Ha 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 ha.
No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place at Yume University Street, don't forget.
Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off.
Let me give her a different...
Congratulations to the both of you in proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Our trusty judicial assistant. You work hard for that resort too, you know.
No, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much! Arigato gozaimasu!
If we hadn't had that research report from Miss Brett, I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kind words should be really for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Speaking of Mikotoba...
Oh, there you are. Congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did a good job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Rosa to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. Went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson.
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you worked together? Never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was long ago by now. Long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. You'll see what's happened in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can.
I swear on this, on the spirit of the Asogi clan.
Taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Of course I am.
A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade will show me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that stands in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. How did the blade go from one side of the court to the other? Weeb knowledge. Don't really know. That reminds me, what's happened to the woman?
To
Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Oh yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but...
What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all.
She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai.
China? What? Shanghai?
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that.
What? Why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Hosonaga. It was a hard-fought battle courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must but what's this all about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away, where our voices can't be heard. Why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we signed the friendship treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan.
Afraid for that young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of her comeuppance for her.
I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over the custody of Miss Brett. You're obviously taking the case of a foreign student committing a murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. The event calls for a celebratory drink.
But Professor... You're right, no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, I might suggest Lock Carnival. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor?
Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Why? What's the motive? We never actually got a motive. The only reason she did it because I just said hi to the professor. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke. Just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You at least saved my skin today. Ha 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 ha. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all on your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I'll bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. Be honest, there's something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal comment, I never want to go through that ever again. I just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that for any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? Defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it? I'm human, just like you. I don't have this superhuman ability to know the truth. You have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick with it until when you're defending someone. Sometimes in a courtroom you can't really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful in what you chose to believe in, even then. Well, that's not something anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believe in your client.
Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stop believing in me. Well, I face seemingly hopeless situations time and time again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. In the end, you found it through your own efforts, because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
What is it? There's something I want to ask you, actually.
Go on.
Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
Sounds serious. What is... Oh, you're still here, aren't you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too.
Well, so my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. And I guess that's the end of chapter 1. Alright. We're gonna save the game. So next time on Gracie's Attorney Chronicles, we're gonna be continuing this game. And hopefully start on episode 2. And I guess I'll see you guys all next time.